Hello everybody! I posted this video about painting brake calipers and comparing results after 2 years paint spray in a can and after 1 year powder coating. My objective was to do it on a small budget and protect calipers from rusting for years to come. In this video you will see results after additional 2 years. And here you have it. Front caliper after 4 years paint spray. It doesn't look bad. But the caliper carrier is rusty. View from the other side. Rear caliper after 4 years paint spray can. Most area holds the paint. And it is not rusting badly. As one can expect, the lower section is the worst. Front caliper after 3 years powder coating. It doesn't look as nice as the one on the other car. But here the caliper carrier holds paint better. View from the other side. Rear caliper after 3 years powder coating. Looks better than the one from the other car. The bottom, same story. Rust. In general, it doesn't make much of a difference. Paint in a can or powder coating. Without better surface preparation before painting, rust will resurface. On the other hand, my objective is met. The rusting process is slowed down, but it could be better. In the fall last year, I rebuilt brake calipers on my third car, and this time I spent more time on preparations before painting. Obviously, the first step was sandblasting. Unfortunately, aluminum oxide media do not reach small cavities, where rust is penetrating little deeper below surface. You can see this especially on caliper carriers, here, the next day after blasting. Therefore, I use rust converter bath to treat this rust. On top of it, the bath is done in ultrasonic cleaner at about 125 Fahrenheit. This should speed up the process, and ultrasound will break air bubbles that prevent better penetration. The vessel is too small, so I must rotate the caliper in this bath. Next step is to clean calipers with acetone before applying this kind of primer. It is good quality, rust-preventing, weld-through primer. When the primer is dry, I use this caliper paint. Obviously, I prefer to use powder coating, but it is out of reach locally, and shipping from States to Canada is through the roof. No thank you. For paint, I would love to use epoxy primer. But my local automotive paint store disappeared when Corona came. So I do what I can without remortgaging my house. To assemble calipers, I used ATA paste. It is compatible with brake fluid. Never use any petroleum-based product here. The seal that sits inside the caliper seems to be too big, but this is the way it is. Just work it into the groove. My method to seat rubber boot. I put it on the piston first and slide it to the end on the piston, so it is hanging out of the back edge. Then I work this hanging part into the groove inside the caliper. Be patient. It must sit properly here. Then I push the piston in. It should go in easily with just finger pressure. I am confident I did it right. But if you are in doubt, put a piece of wood to partially restrict piston movement. Apply compressed air gradually. Watch your fingers! And see if the boot stays on the piston only. If it does, remove the piston and repeat the process. Bleeder screw threads can be treated with this paste to ease brake bleeding in the future. Same with brake line threads. Sliding pins don't get in contact with brake fluid, so I use brake synthetic grease here. Those should move freely inside the caliper carrier, so don't put too much of it there. Rear caliper. In this case, I don't press pistons all the way in. Rubber boot goes on the piston groove first, and when seated, I press the piston in all the way and snap the boot on the calipers ringy thing. Come back to this channel in 2 years. We will see the results. Till next time.